Hello everyone, Sam here to make another MR video, a mutant rivalry video, as this is truly going to be an epic rivalry between the Garden of Illinois, or aka Damian W. Chase, or aka Damian the God, versus the Garden of South Dakota, or aka Daisy R. Riker, or aka the Cyber Eye. As this is truly going to be an epic rivalry between the mainstream media versus alternative media. I can't wait to show you this. It's going to be fun, it's going to be interesting, but first I have to warn you first. Do not watch this video from the age of 18, as this video may talk about some pretty sensitive topics that may not be suitable for kids, alright? So I'm just telling you right now, you have been warned. So let's get this and all. As in right here, the mutant rivalry, a new mutant rivalry between the Guardian of Illinois, or aka Damian W. Chase, or aka Damian the God, versus the Guardian of South Dakota, or aka Daisy R. Riker, or aka the Cyber Eye. So I'm gonna be transitioning right here, and I'm gonna be doing that in 3, 2, 1. Okay, as you can see right here, we have the Guardian of Illinois, or aka Damian W. Chase, or aka Damian the God, versus the Guardian of South Dakota, or aka Daisy R. Riker, or aka the Cyber Eye. As this is truly gonna be an epic rivalry between the mainstream media versus alternative media. I can't wait to show you. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. Now, these two characters also represent other things as well. As in right here, you have a Guardian of Illinois, who represents mainstream media, old voices, and the mainstream narrative, while the Guardian of South Dakota represents alternative media, alternative voices, and alternative narratives. So, yeah. Let's begin here, as both sides are going to be making their arguments right here about why you should join their side, and let's do it right here. As in right here, as you have Damian W. Chase, who believes in the mainstream media. As he believes right here, we should be more loyal and trust the mainstream media, due to their commitment of reporting what's going on internationally and globally, all for our benefit and safety. As in, we should trust the mainstream media, due to their commitment of wanting to report about what's going on globally, what's happening outside the United States, especially when it comes to geopolitics types of situation, and also reporting on crime that's going on in America, trying to use their voice and the platform to try to make awareness for the public about crime surging in certain areas. And that's why he believes we should trust the mainstream media. Meanwhile, you have alternative media right here. As then you have right here, you have the Guardian of South Dakota, who believes in the alternative media. As she says right here, we should be more loyal and trust alternative media, due to their willingness to cover real issues that the mainstream media chooses to ignore or is way too afraid to talk about. As in, we should trust alternative media due to their willingness to talk about real issues, maybe culturally, that the mainstream media is too afraid to talk about. Maybe talk about depression that's been going on in the youth, or talk about corruption that's been going on in media or in government as well. Trying to use their platforms to expose government corruption to the public, trying to bring people awareness about government corruption, and also trying to bring more awareness to cultural issues that's happening as well. Meanwhile, you have the Guardian of Illinois, who believes in old voices, as in, we should listen to old voices within the mainstream media, as they're wise and experienced in using their voice to help guide the youth from the wrong path. As in, we should listen to the mainstream media, the old voices within the mainstream media, as people within the mainstream media using their voice to try to encourage people to not go down dangerous and dark paths, trying to warn people about not following bad ideas or following the wrong crowd, or trying to prevent people from taking the wrong path and following the wrong crowd that may lead them to danger, basically. Alright, trying to influence the youth to make better and greater decisions in their lives. Meanwhile, you have the Guardian of South Dakota, who believes in alternative voices, as in, we should listen to alternative voices and listen to different voices or ideas, and most importantly, new perspectives that may actually show us a new way of thinking, as in, instead of just listening to old voices, we should listen to alternative voices that are not part of the mainstream media. We should listen to new voices, get new perspectives in life. Maybe new perspectives may show us a new way of thinking in life as well. Meanwhile, you have the Guardian of Illinois, who believes in the mainstream narrative, as in, he believes in we should follow the mainstream narrative. That way everyone has a sense of belonging to, has a sense of belonging to, and a way to reduce social anxiety, especially in certain situations. As in, we should all follow the mainstream narrative. That way, everyone has a way of believing in something. They have a way of have like a sense of belonging to, or not everyone is basically cast aside. It's a way of everyone gathering all together, no matter what their race or what their religion is. Everyone has a way of coming together and following the mainstream narrative as a way of trying to reduce social anxiety and a way to try to create a sense of belonging to. However, at the same time, you have the Guardian of South Dakota who believes in alternative narratives, as in, she says right here, we should follow alternative narratives. That way, everyone isn't just blindly following what the mainstream media is selling you in order to reduce tribalism, as in, we should try to be more free thinking and try to think for ourselves and not just blindly follow the mainstream narrative. Instead, we should create a counter narrative to that narrative. All right, so that's what both these argument. That's her argument. Let me guys know in the comment section below what side would you pick. Now, next, I'm gonna be talking about what their rivalry represents and everything else. And I'm gonna be transitioning in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now what does this rivalry represent? Well, the rivalry between these two, the Guardian of Illinois and the Guardian of South Dakota, the rivalry represents a deeper question it's a rivalry between establishment versus anti-establishment. It's a rivalry that talks about, should we just blindly follow our own institutions that have been a part of our society forever, or should we not follow those institutions and try to dismantle those old institutions in our society? All right, like what should we do? Should we dismantle the mainstream media? Or should we keep the mainstream media? Or should we dismantle the mainstream media? All right, let me guys know in the comment section below what you guys think. Now, next, even though both these two characters do not like each other, they both have something in common, as both of them came from very tragic backgrounds. Both of them do want to use their voice to try and do something good in the world, while one wants to use their voice to try to encourage and try to reform the establishment, like Damian W. Chase. Meanwhile, you have the Guardian of South Dakota, who wants to dismantle those institutions and prevent institutions from being able to get away from corruption. Now, next, now let me guys know in the comment section below what you guys think about this rivalry. Are you liking this rivalry so far? Are you someone that's for the established media or the establishment, or are you for not the establishment? Or are you anti-establishment? Are you wanting to dismantle the establishment and dismantle old institutions that have been part of our society forever? Let me guys know in the comment section below what you guys think about that. Now, next, I'm going to be telling you what these characters are supposed to represent, like what these two characters are supposed to represent. Okay, and I'm going to be doing that, ready? And I'm going to be doing that in, ready for this? I'm going to be transitioning. I'm going to be doing that in 3, 2, 1, okay? Now, what does Damian W. Chase represent? Well, he represents that old establishment. He represents that old establishment person. Someone who's very loyal to the government. He's someone who's loyal to the establishment, wants to use his platform to try to spread the establishment's narrative, to try to make sure that the establishment's narrative is spread to the public, making sure the public is aware of what's going on, making sure to try to encourage people that they can trust the establishment, they can trust the government institutions, and they can trust the mainstream media for reliable news. She's someone who represents the mainstream media, old voices, and the mainstream narrative. He's always trying to push out that narrative, trying to create a sense of belonging to where everyone can come together and believe in something, and trying to use his voice to try to help and try to basically help old voices in the mainstream media as well, as he represents the establishment, who's always there to try to make sure the establishment is more part of his life. Now, next, I'm going to be telling you about the Guardian of South Dakota in 3, 2, 1. Okay, as you can see right here, the Guardian of South Dakota. Now, what does the Guardian of South Dakota represent? Well, she represents that anti-establishment person, someone who's basically against the establishment. She's someone who's very conspiratorial, or is usually accused of being conspiratorial, against the establishment, but she's someone who's very skeptical. She doesn't follow what the mainstream media or what the narrative or those in power tell her, as she's someone who represents alternative media, alternative voices and alternative narratives, as she's someone who's always trying to encourage more alternative voices to try to speak up against the establishment and try to use her voice and trying to use those voices to try and encourage the public to be more skeptical towards the establishment. And she's someone who's always about trying to encourage people to think for themselves and all. So that's what this character represents, the Guardian of South Dakota, or aka the Cyber Eye. So let me guys know in the comment section below what you guys think about this. Now next, I'm gonna be transitioning again in 3, 2, 1. Okay, as you can see right here. Alright guys, don't forget to like and share, comment, subscribe to the video. Don't forget to follow me on my Twitter account at OddCinema899. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, let me guys know in the comment section below, what side are you on? Are you on the mainstream media side, or are you on for the alternative media side? Are you on the Guardian of Illinois, or are you on the Guardian of Illinois, or aka Damian W. Chase, or aka Damien the God, or are you for the Guardian of South Dakota? Or are you for the Guardian of South Dakota, aka Daisy R. Riker, aka the Cyber Eye? Which side are you on? Are you for the mainstream media, or are you for alternative media? Are you for the establishment, or are you against the establishment? Do you follow the mainstream narrative, or are you skeptical against the mainstream narrative? Let me guys know in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful and blessed day. And as I've been saying, may God bless.